Okay, so good morning again. Not sure what's happening with Facebook, but we're up and down here on Facebook. So trying to fixes with the fixins. All right. So good morning. It's Jackie Glass, Mama, and let's just take two. Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 89th District. I hope that you are able to join me. Don't know what's going on with Facebook, but we're trying this whole thing again through another medium. So I'll do a quick rundown of what we had in our first video so I can delete that from Facebook. So just bear with me if you're with me. I'm going to try to roll through that pretty quickly. We have established our legislative agenda. That is us saying our priorities for the next session, right? On Thursday evening at 6:30, we will be presenting only a fraction of that legislative agenda. It will just be the public safety piece of that agenda. Good morning. Blessing to see you this morning, Mr. Jones. Um, we're only going to be doing a piece of that legislative agenda. So we'll have a total package, which we'll release to you guys probably next month. But because of the things that have been happening as of late, I just didn't want, I wanted you all to be able to see what we're trying to do around the realms of public safety, because it is a cooperative effort from the state, local, and federal government, and that we've got to sort of pull the pieces together to do right by you. We have honed in on three separate areas with our legislative agenda, specifically around public safety. It is the system, right? The system that works. That's our police, our Commonwealth Attorney. Um, Trying to think what else. That's our sheriff. That's all of those apparatuses that are revolving around public safety. The community, that's you, that's businesses, that's um, um, resources, that's that piece. And then, goodness, I just lost my check of thought. The community, the system, and the government. I think that's what I said. I can't remember last time, but brain is going a little crazy. But we've honed in on these areas to say, all right, these are the things that we can do right now. That isn't the end of the things that we can do, but it's just the start of the things that we can do right now to help push funding, resources, and systematic changes with regards to public safety. We're going to need your feedback, so do not hesitate. Please take the time to join us on Thursday evening. It'll just be a live, just like this, where I'll just go through and present what it is that we have, take your feedback, and then we'll be meeting with the local government. We're sort of setting that stuff up now, sending them our total agenda so that we have larger conversations about the so what, now what. So I'm encouraging you guys, like, this is your time, right? Like we've sort of built out, and I've said this all summer, ever since we got back from session. Um, this is your time to let us know what's going on, to provide feedback, to say, hey, I really want you to work on this or that, or like, that's okay. Some of it may be added, some of it may not, but it's an opportunity. Okay, so that's number one. Legislative agenda, Thursday evening, 6 p.m., 6 to 6:30. It's going to be a quick down and dirty because we'll have opportunity for you to do public comment on that live and on other places. Number two, um, I will also be doing a breakdown of the state's new policy for transgender students. So here's the deal: is I've been out of town for about a week or so. The new policy came out. Let me look. The new policy came out on Friday, right? The new policy came out on Friday about what school systems are going to have to do revolving um, transgender students and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the thing. Haven't had the opportunity to read it. I've been seeing a lot of back and forth, but just know that when I'm looking at these things, y'all, I am coming from a place of, okay, what makes sense, what doesn't? Because what I've recognized is that, sometimes the party side of things may take something and go high and right or high and left. And there's some things that are absolutely high and right. And there are some things that are some not personality, some dissent that should go high and left. And then there are the things that are pragmatic, right? And so, like, sifting through that and giving you guys an honest assessment and even walking you through that is going to be really important to me to do for you. As, like, I know the news can be great, News articles can be great, but it's nothing I like sitting down with a document, reading it, taking it, and then giving you guys the one-on-one feedback of what that looks like. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get that read and debrief just for you all, and I'll just highlights of some of the things that I have seen in the new. Um, um, I'm trying to pull it up so that I can say exactly what the policy was. The couple things that I did see is that they're not going to allow. Good morning, Michelle. Uh, um, they were not going to allow students to just change their names without permission from without a legal uh, without legal, like you got to go to court and get your name changed. So it's like, okay, so like that thing I can understand, like in the system having a person's name as what it is and still being able to do nicknames. Like me as a kid growing up, my name was always Jacqueline in the system, and then other names I went by reasonably was Jackie, right? So like that sort of thing. Like I so understand that, and my daughter wants to change her middle name. We're getting there, but the headlines have been Virginia is going to block this policy is blocking rights for transgender students, and I want to see it. So right now it's just the 2022 model and practice. School systems are still going to have to trickle down and put their feedback in it. So it's important, if this is something that's really important to you. I'm typing weird that that you all, and I'll put it in the chat. If it's something that is really, really important to you, that you all take the time to, hold on, I'm looking for it. There it is. That you take the time to read through it. Again, this is just model practices. I'm putting it in the chat straight from the Department of Education's website. No news, stuff like that. We got to know how to get to these sites and get it. So the policy is called the 2021 Model Policies for Treatment of Transgender Students in Public and Elementary Schools. And it is, like I said, it's something that I'm still going to have to read through. And our school board, our local school board, each school board in the Commonwealth is going to have to adopt policies that are consistent with this. So they still have some leeway and some latitude, very small, but they'll have to adopt policies that are consistent with this particular model. And I'm not the only one to sound off to that on this sort of thing. We also need to be making sure that we are looping in and providing feedback to our school board. Hopefully it's a good read, and we'll be able to, again, debrief from a place of just not my feelings about it, but just the facts about it. And then I can put my commentary. Boom, that's done, right? The third thing I wanted to get to today was why I was gone last week. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend almost a week long conference, and it was more like a working group on investing in democracy. For me, right? Our system, I know 100% in my heart of hearts, just in being in it, is broken. Right. And if I'm being, totally, and I'm pulling up my notes here for you all, the system is broken. And the truth of the matter is that if we're going to get to a place where we are fixing people, right, the people, if we want better people, we've got to have a better process. When it boils down to it, I got the opportunity to watch a focus group of people from across America, right? People from across America came through and they said, hey, this is what we think about government. This is what we think. This is what we think you all need to do better. And almost 100% of the people in the room said they trust local government. One person said they don't trust, they trust state government, but no one said they trust the federal government. And what it boils down to is we truly, all of us know that, Washington is kind of broken in its own way, right? And I don't know about you guys. I'm going to ask, what branch or what phase of government do you feel like you trust the most? And you can drop it in the chat. Do you feel more trusting of your local government, of your state government, or your federal government? I'm asking that, or like, which one do you most heavily feel like you believe in or trust, or um, um, find yourself attached to, or where you want to get information or connected to? Which one do you find? Because heavily it seems like that we focus on the federal government when there's a lot more things that happen in other places. But drop it in the chat, which level of government do you find that you trust the most? Right. So as I said before, Washington is broken. We know that there are 100% career politicians in this realm, that are not getting the job done, whether we like them or not, right? They're just not getting it done. And we can see, you and I, hopefully we can see the consequences of the political corruption, right? When we're watching the news, somebody said the state. I hear you on that one. You're one of very few. It just doesn't have your name there for me. We can see the consequences of, we're feeling the consequences of consistent long-term political corruption. That is not on one side, or on, that is not, excuse me, that corruption piece is a bipartisan issue, right? And I will say this, and I'm going to say this again, the only way to fix the people is to fix the system. I know that there are amazing people out there that would possibly make great, do a great job in politics, do an amazing job serving people, serving a system, right? Like in the way that is making our spaces and places better. And that is why I know we need election reform. And that's something you guys are going to see me, you move, towards the local branch. Michelle, you're like many people, many folks are leaning more towards the local. That's because people are like, oftentimes the local government is right there with you, right? You see them at the grocery store, you see, you know where they are in the community. I do think it's a proximity thing, that, the closer people are to you, the more trusting you are of them. But also just, what we get to see, we don't get to see. You can see what happens at city council anytime you want to. You don't get to be in the rooms unless you're watching C-SPAN. And I'm not even one of those people that are watching C-SPAN to figure out what's going on in the room, and the bills are big and things like that. And so that is why we need election reform. This is a call in, right? Because this is some work that I'm going to get really deep into over the years. This will always be a main priority of mine, is election reform. We need to put our country, our community, our people ahead of our parties, because this has to be a total effort. Like, it has to be a total effort to put people first, right? If we're going to be able to do this. So it's one of those things that I don't feel like this is politics. I feel like this is, it's necessary. Because we can't sit here and say, let's do what makes common sense. We have to do the responsible thing, because common sense is varying right now, what we believe is common sense. And Marcus Bell says the system is broken. That's why it's called, you don't trust any, to be honest. It's hard to believe some people with unmerited power will always, it's hard to believe some people with unmerited power will always do the right thing. I'm with you, Marcus, on that. I'm with you on that. And that sentiment that sentiment that Marcus expressed, he is not alone. There are droves and droves of people that vote consistently, that are active in their corner of the world in the best way they can, that don't believe in this system, right? And to my point earlier, is the only way to change the people is to change the system, because we'll keep getting the same product out of the system that we're in. And that is the whole truth. Now, I recognize what I'm going to promote to you all, or ask you guys to take this journey with me, is it's asking politicians, asking public servants who will be the victims of this change to consent. Right. This gentleman said to me, it's like asking a victim to consent. And that's going to be hard, because if we change the system, it may make people have to work for a variety of votes. It breaks my heart to be on a ballot with a D behind my name, and knowing that I have constituents that do not have D. What I mean by D is Democrat, and they would never have a conversation with me because of that. But I am charged with serving them, right? That I can't even get past that to be able to be of service to them. Like it and I'm not going to say it frustrates me. because I know that, there are over 80,000 people in this district. And just because of my political affiliation, I have some that will never allow me to be of service to them. And I won't be able to exchange information the way we do because of that. I don't like it. So what we've been working on, and we have a gentleman in the community too, and we need more of you, is working on open primaries. Open primaries is something that we already have at the local level, and I'll explain what that is. What local primaries are where anybody of any party, any political affiliation can run in the primary, right? Anybody, right? Anybody can run. So that makes everybody work for all of our votes, and ranked choice voting. That is going to be the huge deal for me. Ranked choice voting is going to be at the forefront of a lot of the election reform that we're trying to do in Alaska. Now I know that's way over yonder, right? West and Northwest. But in Alaska, they just did this system where they had an open primary and they had ranked choice voting. And for the first time in Alaskan history, do you hear me? For the first time in Alaskan history, Alaska has a U.S. state representative that is an Alaskan native. Now, this woman in the open primary, she finished last, right? So big open primary. She got 9% of the vote. But then in the final runoff, right, they did what's called ranked choice voting, where you pick you do your top picks, you rank your votes, right? So she probably was a lot of people's second choice. So what happens is let's say we do 3 votes. Ranked choice voting is as easy as 1, 2, 3, right? You say you pick, let's just do it about lunch, right? Somebody, your choices for lunch, so to give you clarity, are hamburgers, hot dogs, or pizza. Now let's say we only do the first round of voting, right? And 30% say they want hamburgers, 30% say they want hot dogs, 30% say they want pizza, a little over, give or take, right? I know that doesn't equal 100, but you're going to stay with me on that, right? So it's like, we don't know, we're split evenly. Well, then let's say we go to who got the least amount of that 30%. Let's say pizza got, 29.8%. So since pizza is finished last, we're going to take pizza, and all those people who have pizza as their first choice, we're going to look at their second choice. And then all of a sudden, pizza's votes are divided among hamburgers and hot dogs. And then say 15% of those people said that they wanted, 20% of those people said that they wanted hamburger. So that 30 is now going to give 50. And only the other 10 said that they wanted hot dogs. So the majority of the people, once we split that vote up, now we have a 50-40 split, right? But the majority of us said we wanted hamburgers, so we're having hamburgers. This makes it so that no one can win any election without getting more than 50% of the vote. And that's what it boils down to, is that no one should win any election without getting more than 50% of the vote. We saw it in our city council race where there were 7 people here in the city of Norfolk, the super ward race. And it was like the winner got 28%, second place got 27%, and then it was another 20%. Like, it was wild. Yeah, like it was wild to know that no matter who it was, even if I was the winner, it would have been wild to say that I won an election with 27% of the vote, right? What does that tell me? What does that say to you? That means that 73% of the people did not select me as their candidate, right? And that allows for divisiveness. So at the very minimum, if we work towards where we're able to put our first, second, and third choice, our systems here are already set up for it. I need you all's help. I need you all to sort of understand that if we're going to get better quality candidates, if we're going to get a better quality government, we're going to have to change our system. And in the Commonwealth, we already have the means to do that. In 2020, the General Assembly, so that's the folks that like me that are up at the state level, we passed a bill. I wasn't there yet, but they passed a bill saying that we have the option to do ranked choice voting on the local level, in our cities. We have the option. I think we need to push for that option. We've got another election coming up in 2024. I know that we have local elections coming up this November. Shout out, yay. Hey, early voting. Early voting starts this Friday. Early voting starts this Friday down at the, and I need you guys to go ahead and sign up to early vote, because if you were able to work the polls on in November, we need you. Yep. It's National Registration Day. I don't know who that is putting that in there because it only says Facebook user, but thank you so much. Um, um, so yeah, Marcus, it's all good. This is what we do. Like, let's get it. We got same day registration. We have so many good things going for us. But again, I'm going to say this to you all again. In order to change the people, we have to change the system. I need you to remember that. And no one should win any election without over 50.1% of you should not win with 50 without getting 50% of the vote. Period. Nobody should win any election in our town, in our state, excuse me, in our city or in our state without at least 51% of election. This is why this is needed. But it's going to have to be a movement, right? Oftentimes, folks don't move on. I mean, remember, we're asking the victims' consent. We're asking politicians, public servants to consent to change that is going to make them work for more votes, which means I may be running and being like, hey, I'm working for, I know my people. I can't just go to my people. I can't go to that 20% that voted to me last time. Now I got to go ask people, hey, I know I may not be your first choice, but I would absolutely love to be your second choice on the ballot. Imagine that if we had to work for all votes, right? If we had to stand there and we had to be a person that worked from a place of working for people, not just our personal segment of the population. I can only imagine. And I know that it would be good. It would be healthy. Is it going to make it harder? Yeah, man, we got to work. Yeah, it's going to make it harder, but it's necessary. So election reform is something that we can push to move right now. Now, if you are interested in, pulling together and starting to do the election reform stuff, I need you to go ahead and hit me up, right? I'm going to put my, I'm putting my email, in the chat. Y'all know I'm working with one finger. I'll tell you about that story in a bit. And then I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here and give y'all day. Genia.gov. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey. So listen, and that's the deal too. So Marcus got his 6-year-old Major. Hey, Major, how are you? Because we work for him, right? Essentially, we work for Major. I mean, like, we work for the next year. I think that we can do this system better for our little ones, right? This is about more choices, more voices, and more power for people. More choices, more voices, more power. You should not win an election without 50%. It's gonna be difficult to change hearts, but we can change minds with data. At least that's what I'm hoping for. What am I doing? Giving you guys a yep. And I have faith in us, right? I have faith in our ability to do and be great, but faith ain't nothing without fight. I'm just gonna tell you, especially when we're talking about stuff like this, I have faith that we can change this system, but it's gonna be nothing without fight. So I need y'all to get in on this. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about ranked choice voting specifically, I'll say Fairville, Virginia is a space where Represent Women is a space where you can here I'm writing fair votes, Represent Women. But I know that that it's gonna be a long road, and so like I respect and appreciate the comments that you guys have made this morning. I'm ready, right? If we're going to get this, there are other systematic changes that's going to help us get better people, like, independent redistricting, like revising the daggum filibuster, like open primaries, like ranked choice voting. But we're going to start with the lowest hanging fruit, and that's getting our folks to get ranked choice voting in our city. We've got a group already. This is not, and I'm saying this loud and clearly because you'll see there are people who are able to invest in pushing this forward that may not look like you or I. this is not just a rich, wealthy white folk issue. This is not just a elite issue. This is not just like, it is not, it is an us issue, right? Because like I said before, when someone wins, when anyone wins an election with 30% of the vote, that system fails 100% of us because it's not representative of our community. So here we go. And I'll say this. This is, as this gentleman said to us, the decisions that we make about reforming our election reform, the decisions that we make, it's a one-way door, right? If we don't do it, we don't have another door. We can't come back through that door, especially given the time we are in. It's not a door that we can come walk back through. We've got to do it. We've got to get it done now. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of your messages, or you guys can message the Facebook, message the page with your email and just say, I want to get involved in election reform. I want to change the system. We can get a win right here in our backyard. Okay. Right here in our own backyard, we can get a small win and show people that like we do feel like we deserve better choices. We do feel like we deserve to have a voice, and we do feel like we deserve to have power in our own backyard. And when we do that across our city, when we do that across our region, when we do it across our state, states lead by other states. So what happens is Georgia, Mississippi be looking at what Georgia doing. Georgia be looking at what North Carolina doing. Virginia be looking at what Maryland and DC them doing. And California be looking at what Washington and Oregon. Like, we follow the lead. So let's take it. Okay? All right. That's it. That's all I got today. And then Thursday, prepare Thursday. If you are interested in that, the model policies for the treatment of transgender students in public and elementary school, I'm going to be reading that this week, digesting it, and having a whole talk back about that on Thursday. Would love to have you here. I think I might try to invite a school board member or somebody to come in and talk with us about it. But that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday. Oh, my finger. Okay, I'll tell you what, that's what we're going to do on Thursday. And then Thursday evening, we'll just be debriefing that small portion of our legislative agenda, which is this public safety portion, and you'll get the rest later. My finger on Wednesday, while I was out of town, my door, see how I'm messing it up. On Wednesday while I was out of town, my finger was smashed inside of the hotel room door. That would not be a significant thing if I didn't have my nails done. Now, for many of you who have known me for quite a bit of time, getting my nails done is not something that I typically do. I do not. It's just not my thing. However, my mother now lives in the area with me, and she is hyper cognizant of me being the girly girl that she always wanted. I grew up in the mud. I'm actually called the mud baby. So there are certain things that I do that are just for her. And I got my nails done for my mother just because I know that's a thing. And I wear my lipstick. I do the things that she says, at least go out in the public looking like somebody love you. So I get my nails done. And when the door smashed, it only smashed the nail, with sort of ripped back my entire nail. I went to the urgent care, couldn't see me because I needed to get x-rays to make sure nothing was broken. Went to the ER. Nothing really we can do is to let it heal and sort of do its own process. I put this on there because I kept hitting the nail and it was extremely painful. So that is why I got one crazy finger. I'm hoping that it simmers down and makes me feel better soon. So other than that, I'm cool. There it is, the finger. Thank you, Elena, because I know you were going to beat me up if I didn't tell you. All right, we got our go-dos. We have our go-dos because you want election reform, like you want better people. So we got to fix the system. You don't believe nobody's supposed to win an election without more than 50% of the vote. Right, that's what you believe, then you're going to hit me up and we're going to start this movement, or we're going to continue this movement. This is something that I campaigned on while I was running for city council, not realizing that it was going to be a 7-person race. But we need y'all canvassing this week. That's right. Don't forget, early voting starts on Friday. Friday, consider becoming an election day worker. Okay. We are right at 30 minutes. Look at us. All right. To you and yours, make it a great day. And make sure there ain't nothing on the calendar. Oh, and on Thursday, I will be talking about a meeting I had with the Commissioner for Labor and um, Innovation, because there's some good stuff coming our way, right? We're talking to people trying to make some things happen. Okay. Be well, do great, be great. Take care. Make it a great day, y'all.